Algebra 1, Lesson 45 is about range, median, mode, and mean. And as you can see, the lines should be longer, or I should have written smaller, but these are already filled in for you. We're going to talk about these briefly before we get to our examples. So, measures of central tendency include the median, mode, and mean. And technically, all three of those can be called average. So we talk about the average of a number. People could mean any of those three, although typically we're talking about the mean. We'll just go down over these, and there are shorter ways to remember how you do these that you might want to make note of as well. The range is just the highest minus the lowest. The highest value in a list of numbers or a set of data minus the lowest one. Just tells you how far apart they are. The median is the one in the middle, just like the median on a 4-lane highway. Is that grassy strip or the concrete barrier in the middle we call the median. And the median is just in the middle. It comes from Latin. Mode. In other contexts besides math, mode just refers to what's fashionable, what's in style, what's the most popular. So it's the one that appears the most frequently. Mode is the most. And then the mean is the one we usually call average, and that's where you add up all the numbers and divide by how many there are. So it's written a little more formally on the paper here, but again, you can take note of how we normally say them. If you want, just like what you actually do, add them up and divide by how many there are. In example 1 here in our notes, I believe is different than example 1 in the book. So there are other examples in the book you can look at as well. And for our example, we're having a couple of different sets here, and then we're going to look at the overall group. So we get a lot of practice in this one example. So we have a bunch of dogs have been weighed, and there's one group of dogs whose weights are listed right here, and then the second group of dogs, their weights are listed down there. And then at the end, we'll talk about the group of all 11 dogs together. So, list in ascending order, because many of the things we're doing here, it makes it easier to find the mode if they're listed in order, and we need them to be in order to find the median. And there are other things you'll be doing later that you also need them listed in order. So it's good practice to just do that right away. And so we have the lowest one is 8, then 10, and 15. So 8, 10, 15. And then we have 30 and 60. And the mean of these, this is where we add them up and divide by how many there are. So that is 8 plus 10 plus 15 plus 30 plus 60, and there are 5 here, so we'll be dividing by 5. And let's see, that would be 60 and 30 and 10 is 100, and 15 and 8 would be 23, so it's 123 divided by 5. And we could do long division and get a decimal, or we can make it a mixed number, which I was kind of thinking I would do. Let's see, I know 125 divided by 5 is 15. Or no, it's not. That'd be 75. I think I'm going to write this down. Okay. I had it in my head, then it left. Okay, so here we go. There's 10. And so then, I wanted to say 25, not 15. Okay, so 20, and it's 3/5, which is 6/10. So we could write 24 and 3/5, or if you wanted it as a decimal, that would be 24.6. That is the mean, what we typically call the average. The median is just the one in the middle, so 15. And then now for the mode, we're looking for what's there the most. Well, they're only there once. There's no mode. There's not always a mode. And sometimes there's more than one. Okay, no mode here. The range is the highest minus the lowest, so 60 minus 8, so 52. Okay, so that's that. For the next set of dogs, the other 6 numbers, we're going to list those in order as well. So we have 2 different 4s, and we have an 8, and 15, 15, and 18. Okay, so there they are in order. For the mean, we add them all up and divide by 6, since there are 6 numbers in this set. So there's 8, another 8, that's 16. And then this is 30 plus 18 is 48. There are 6, so 48 plus 6 would be 54. This is 64 divided by 6, which I could reduce first. I guess I'll do that. So we have 32 divided by 3. That's not quite 11. So there's 30. 32 thirds will be 10 and 2 thirds, or 10.6 repeating if you wanted a decimal. The median is the one in the middle. Okay, well, there's not one number in the middle. So what we do when that happens is we take the 2 numbers that are in the middle and we basically average them. We find the mean of the 2 numbers in the middle. So them. For the median, we have 8 plus 15, and we'll divide that by 2. So that would be 23 divided by 2. That's 11.5, or 11.5 if you wanted the decimal. The mode, what's there the most? Well, there are 2 4s and there are 2 15s. So this one is bimodal. There are 2 modes. We have 4 and 15. And the range is still the highest minus the lowest. That would be 18 minus 4, so this range is only 14. Okay, now at the bottom of the page here, we're going to consider all 11 dogs in one set. So a set of 11 numbers. And we're going to do this all over again, listing them all in order. Okay, so we have 4, 4, 8, and then this other 8. Oops, I'm off screen. This might be difficult to fit. Okay, so we have 4, 4, and that 8. But then I'm looking over here and there's another 8. Okay. So now 10. And there's a 15 from the left list. And there are 2 other 15s on the right list. Okay. And then I have the 18. And then 30. And 60. I'm just going to count, make sure I have 11 numbers. I didn't miss anything or count something twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we should be good. And we'll just do these in the same order they were up above there. So we'll need to do the mean. Now, since I've already added these numbers just in stages up top there, I don't have to add them all up all over again. The total for the first 5 dogs had been 123. So for the mean, the total of all 11 numbers will be 123 plus the total from the 6 dogs, and that was 64. So the total of all the weights will be what I get when I add them, and there are 11 numbers, so we'll be dividing by 11. Okay, so 4 plus 3 is 7, 6 plus 2 is 8, and then 1, and oh, this is nice. This actually comes out even. That's 17. Okay, so we have that, and then we'll do the median next, and we have an odd number of numbers, 11, so there is one number in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See? Okay, so 15 is the median. Now the mode, what is there the most of? Okay, so there are 2 4s, there are 2 8s, there are 3 15s. Okay, so 15. And then the range, and that is the highest minus the lowest, so 60 minus 4, which will give us 56. Okay, the different measures of central tendency and the range, these are like, they're used in a lot of applications. They're used in statistics a lot. This is like the first step in doing some other things in statistics, is finding things like the median and the mean, all of this. So it's good practice to do these. We have a couple more on the back, on the other side of your notes here. So let's take a look at example 2. I believe these next two are similar or the same as ones in the book. So we have the scores on a test are listed here, and we need to know the range, median, mode, and mean of the test scores, because we might want to analyze this and see how the class is doing as a whole. And so let's go ahead and do this. We're going to first list them from smallest to largest, lowest to highest. That'll make it easier to do really all of these other than the mean. Okay, so I see 80s, 90s. Ooh, here's a 60. Okay, so we have 60 and 66. Those were all the ones in the 60s. Then 70s, there's 78. Okay, then we beat to the 80s. We have 83, 85, 86. Okay, I only have some in the 90s left. We have 93 and 95. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have all of them. I know it's even, so I'm going to have to average things to do the median. There's not one number in the middle. But let's do these in the order they've requested. A is the range. So the range is 95 minus 60. So 35. B is the median, the one in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so these two. So I add 83 and 85 and divide by 2. And you'll find when they're only one apart like that, the answer is going to be 84, but I'll do the math. So 168 over 2, and that's 84. C is the mode. What's there the most of? Well, I don't think any of them repeat. 60, 66, 78. No mode. And the mean. Okay, so for the mean, we add them up and divide by how many there are. So you can add them in whatever order you wish. I like, if I notice, being able to get multiples of 10. That's nice, but there's not a lot of that. I guess I'll just add the 60s. That's 126. Okay, and then you can add these two. That's 15 plus 11 is 61. Why did I say that? Oh boy. Okay, I better write more of this down. I'm just going to put the 78. And then these two was 168. I already had those added. And then I'll just write the 86, I guess, for now. And then this is 188. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That's 24 plus 12, so that's 36. 13 right here. 13, 18, 18 and 16 is 34. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and there were 8. So we have to divide that by 8. And we are getting 60, that'd be 0.7. I could have done a mixed number, I guess. Oh well. Okay, so then we'll go one more place, because I think I see this is coming out nicely now. Would have been 80 3/4. 80.75. Okay. So 80.75. Okay, so last example down here, example 3. This time they tell us the mean, and we need to find a missing number. Okay, there are 5 numbers, and we know 4 of them. So we're going to find out what the other one is. We know we're doing the mean. Okay, it's the total of all the numbers divided by how many there are. I'm going to put an abbreviation for quantity. Okay, the total of all the numbers, when we add them up, divided by how many there are. Well, we know the mean, because they tell us, is 10. Okay, the mean of 5 numbers is 10. And we know 4 of the numbers. When we add these, 14 plus 11, okay, that's 25. And then there's another 10, so 35. But that's not all 5 numbers. It's 35 plus the unknown number, I'm just going to call it x, divided by the total number of them, which is 5, because we have to include the unknown one. And then we're just going to solve that equation we have now for x and find the missing number. So first, I don't want there to be a denominator, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 5 so they'll cancel. Whatever I do to one side, I must do the other. I multiplied 5 times the right side. I need to multiply 5 times the left side. So now I have 50 equals 35 plus x. Subtract 35, and we will have x by itself. Okay, looks like 15, 35, 45, 50. So the missing number is 15. And then what you could do is go back and find the mean of 2, 8, 11, 14, and 15 and make sure that you get exactly 10. Which I suppose I could demonstrate. I'll show you how quick it can be. So I'm not even assuming I added right the first time. I'm just going to add up all 5 numbers. Okay, so 2 plus 8 is 10. Plus 11, and then 14 and 15 is 29. So there's 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 50. Divided by 5, of course, is going to be 10, so I know it's right. And that is now the end of the notes. Enjoy your measures of central tendency problems.